So 2021 hunting season's here.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Outdoor Products Canada, Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable, Old Smokes Coffee, JB Sausage Supplies, Tourism Saskatchewan, North Pro Sports, Crosby Cedar Products, Ace Outfitting, Tobin Lake Trophy Adventures, Graham's Tire, Trail Runners Canine Training Center, and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. And these fine sponsors.
A lot of my time I spend before the season is scouting and spotting for that jaw dropper of a deer. I go out lots of evenings, mornings, and a few buddies come with me. So I'm out with buddy Austin Shepard here. We're just looking for some mule deer. It's the end of July, and it's usually a good time to start scouting. July and August, you see a lot of big deer in the canola fields. We just seen 2 little ones, but it's not quite what we're looking for yet, so we're gonna keep going, and hopefully we can find something here for September 1st when archery opens up. When we were out whitetail hunting and mule deer hunting, you see all kinds of animals.
He's got some paddles.
You know, there's some really nice moose that we've came across, and there's a badger. He was digging a hole that he was making his home. And there's a badger digging a hole right there. You know, we seen a horned owl too, sitting on a fence post, and those are all just beautiful animals. Out in the wild, and that's all part of the hunt that I really enjoy and love seeing. I did see some very special deer though, that kind of unique deer, I guess you could say. I did find a really nice velvet deer. One, he had a big club horn coming out the side of his main beam, and I've never seen that before in a mule deer.
He's got a really neat big club coming out of the right side of his head, and he's kind of trashy on the right side. Left side he's fairly typical, but he's a really cool looking deer, so it would be awesome to get him.
So I was really tempted to go after him in archery season.
Pretty cool. That was a gamble that almost paid off. I got 0 wind tonight, like not a breath. So I snuck in. I figured they'd feed. Uphill at me. And sure enough, they did. But I just wasn't far enough in. They walked by me probably about 80 yards.
I let him walk, though. He was had a few opportunities at him that I could have went after him where he was bedded, but there was one deer that I was after, and that was the deer I had my heart set on. So it is August 31st, the night before archery season opens, and I came out to find the buck that I've been watching here, and I finally found him, and he is just laying in the crop there. You can just see his horn sticking out. So I'm gonna stay a ways back and not bother him. He's only probably about 200 yards from where he was this morning. So hopefully he stays there. We got permission, and I'm going to go after him first thing in the morning if I can find him.
Stay tuned.
There was one deer that I was after, and that was the deer I had my heart set on. September 1st came, and I found him, and he was in the same area he was. And I did a stalk on him a couple times. And the first time I actually went in, I crawled down this drainage ditch towards him.
Big one is right there. It's probably about 65 yards, 70 yards from me right now.
He was bedded up in the side hill, and I got about, I think it was 60 to 80 yards. He actually got up and he was walking around in front of me. And I thought he was going to feed down towards this drainage ditch towards me, but he actually ended up feeding up towards the hill. And I just, there's nothing I could do. I had to watch him and just let him settle down. And he fed up on the hill a little bit, and he walks right back down towards me and beds halfway down the hill again.
Opposite way. I came down in the road, kind of a drainage ditch, and he decided to feed up the hill. And now he's kind of just, he's probably about 100 yards away.
So I was still in a pretty good position, but he was just a little further down for me, so I had to sneak along this drainage ditch a little bit more. I had high hopes that this deer was going to get up and feed down towards this drainage ditch down into the draw, and sure enough, he read the script. I snuck in a little bit up into the canola, and he stood up and he started feeding, and he was walking right down towards me. He actually was, I think he was about 20 to 25 yards. He actually walked a little bit past me, and I should have let him walk maybe a little bit more past me because I had him beat with the wind. I stood up a little too soon, and I was full draw on him, and if that deer would have stayed another second or two, there would have been an arrow released, but I never did get an arrow at him, and he took off running away, and all I could do was just watch him run. He's still probably, he was, if I were to guess, maybe low 180s, mid 180s of a non-typical mule deer. So that's a pretty nice deer. So we're going to, hopefully we can get eyes on him again next year, and we're going to go after that one. So archery season came to an end, and muzzleloader season opened up. So we were back out in the field and looking for lots of deer. We put on tons of miles using spotting scopes and binoculars. We had lots of good deer pegged. But I just couldn't find the one that I really wanted. So we passed up a lot of exceptional deer. You'll see in the footage that there were some pretty nice deer that we got.
There's a little buck hiding in there.
And then rifle season comes around. Let that guy walk. He's got potential. We've seen a few really nice bucks here, and this is one of them. We got a little better look at them, and could have shot both of them, but we're gonna let these guys walk, and hopefully we can find something a little bit better yet. We've still got a few days left in the season, so we're gonna walk back out, and hopefully maybe we come across another one. So the mule deer I ended up taking with my rifle, we seen him, he was probably 600 yards. He was bedded with a bunch of does in the side hill, and we drove around to get a better look at him and do a stalk on him. And a truck actually drove by right when we were getting up to him, and they kind of spooked him a little, and they ran ahead of us. So I watched the bush they ran up into, and they seemed to settle down in there. So I got out and started walking myself. I didn't have a camera guy with me this time, but I had my Tacticam rolling. So once I got up, I seen the does were in the bush, and then the buck kind of stepped out. So I hit play on the Tacticam, and you'll see it's maybe not the best footage, but you will see that he comes out. And my first shot, I drilled him in the shoulder, and then he actually started running a little bit towards me, and then I took one more shot and dropped him. You know, the does ran away, and it was kind of funny. There was a moose actually in that same bush with him, and when he was walking out, the shots didn't scare him at all. He kind of walked right up to my buck and was sniffing him a bit. And then he buggered off. I just left him a little bit and went up to him, and yeah, I had 2 good shots on him. I just got my mule deer, and pretty sure I hit him twice. I watched him go down here, left him a little bit, and yeah, he's laying right here. Well, this is my 2021 mule deer. It's the second last day, and it's really warm out. We haven't seen a lot moving, so I said to myself, the next decent buck I see is might be getting it. So this is the deer we took, and yeah, he's nice. He's not the biggest. I've passed up bigger, but he's still pretty good. He's nice and wide. He's got some character. So I'm gonna get him field dressed here. Stay tuned. After I got my deer, my cousin Trevor, he called too, and he still had to get his deer yet. I think it was on the last day he ends up taking a mule deer as well. I was with him, and I was running the camera for him. Drilled him.
You see him? He traveled back.
Yeah, he just laid down.
Good shot.
You see where I shot him?
Yeah. Well,
And we snuck in this bush.
Well, last day of the season. Can still fill a freezer. Not the biggest one, but
It's not always about getting the biggest deer, as long as you get one at the end of the day and you get some meat. You can make some sausage and burgers.
All right, then welcome to this week's segment of JB Sausage Maker Supplies with Dwayne. And we've got our deer, we've got our gear, we've got the spices, we've got everything mixed and ground and ready to go in a stuffer. Now what are we doing? It's like, it's go time. This is the next step. What's the best way to do this, Dwayne?
The moisture content that's in the product will enable you to work the product through the equipment without a lot of stress. It just makes it so much easier if it's moist and you can just squeeze it through your fingers.
And one of the other things that you mentioned to me today was that consistency of the meat. And you could tell that it was binding together and it was a little bit sticky. You could tell that the process was working and that you were ready to go.
Right, and you will tell in the product after it's cooked, the density will show up in the product itself.
All right, so the casings. Now we're going to talk really quickly about these casings. We used a number of different things, whether it was the pepperoni or the sausage or the smokies, and there's obviously all the different styles that you can wrap it up and do it, but what about the casing?
Most of the production today is being done with natural casing still. We made breakfast sausage. We actually used lamb casing, which is, smaller diameters. We used a 35 millimeter tube casing to make the sausage, which you've seen on the tube side how much easier it is to work with trying to untangle a bundle of casing. And we used some artificial to make the pepperoni.
Catch us next time on the segment of JB Sausage Maker Supplies with Dwayne, and we're going to start getting things into a smoker.
So I'm sighting in my 338 Savage. It's got a Bushnell Elite scope on it, a 4500 4X with the Hornady SST Super Performance shells. Makes it accurate, deadly, and dependable. So whitetail season's upon us, and we figured, let's try a little rattling. It's worked in the past in this area. We've rattled some bucks in and got them to come. It's a pretty neat experience when you got them coming running towards you. Gets the blood pumping for sure, so we tried that, but we didn't have too much luck this year with it. We knew there were some good deer in this one area that we always hunt. We got some good deer on camera, and I decided to pull up in this one hill where they like to cross and just sit and wait. I knew there's a few other hunters that hunt in the area, and they push the deer around and move them around, and they kind of go to some of their safe zones. So we decided to just sit up on the hill and give it a whirl and let the deer move around on their own. Sitting on the hill, and sure enough, all of a sudden we seen some does poke out of the bush right in front of us. They actually kind of trotted off and ran out, and about 5 minutes later, I'm not sure if it was the same few does that came out of that bush.
oh, where is he? She's a bomb.
But there was a buck hot on their tail chasing some does right towards us, and they actually ended up running right in front of us, probably about maybe 100, 120 yards, and they stopped. I actually took the shot, missed the first shot. He started just kind of, they weren't running real hard and they were running. I took one more shot and actually ended up cartwheeling the buck. He broke one tine off. That's the way it goes. There's nothing you could do. It was a nice broadside shot. I hit him actually in the neck, and he was done instantly.
That is a good whitetail.
Well, this is my 2021 whitetail. We were sitting up on the hill watching. We knew there were some deer that were crossing here. And actually, this isn't the guy that I was watching and hoping we were going to come across, but he looked pretty good. He was rutting in behind some does, and he came probably 150 yards, and we dumped him. He actually cartwheeled, and I think he broke a tine off here in the front, but I'm happy with him. We got some work to do now, and yeah, this is him. He's a good deer. He was a really nice 5x5, and like I said, he did break one tine off, but that's okay. That happens. So thanks for watching Prairie Pursuit. I'm Calvin Coleman. See you later.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Outdoor Products Canada, Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable, Old Smokes Coffee, JB Sausage Supplies, Tourism Saskatchewan, North Pro Sports, Crosby Cedar Products, Ace Outfitting, Tobin Lake Trophy Adventures, Graham's Tire, Trail Runners Canine Training Center, and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. And these fine sponsors.